You'll see I have 3 triangular prism examples on here because those are the ones that trick people the most. So I really just want to get some consistency and some repetition for you guys. So I want to show you 3 different triangular prisms. So here's one. It's a triangular prism because I see a triangular base. Again, just because it's not sitting on the triangle doesn't mean it's not the base. If I tilted it upward so it was sitting on the triangle, then it would be a lot more obvious. But this is a triangular prism. My base is this triangle here. If I find the area of that base, it's 1/2 base times height. Remember that height must be vertical. So if you put in 8 for the base and 8 for the height, that's not right because this is not the vertical height. This is the vertical height, which they tell us is 10. So my area of my base is 1/2 times 8 times 10. And that's going to give me a capital B value of 40. My height then, again, this is another challenging part, is whatever the height is when it's sitting on its base. So if you're thinking it's 10 again, it's not, because remember that's the base. Imagine if it was sitting on that base, how tall would it be? It would have a height of 60. Again, if you can visualize taking that prism and sitting it on the triangle, it would be 60 centimeters high. Another trick is you should never use the same number twice. So if that was the height of the base, it can't also be the height of the entire prism. So then my volume is 40 times 60, which is 2,400 centimeters cubed. All right, my last triangular prism example is another one that just looks slightly different. Again, notice it's sitting on this rectangle down on the bottom here, but the base, because it's a triangular prism, has to be the triangle. In a prism, the base is whatever the special type of prism it is. A square, a rectangle, a triangle, a pentagon. So if I find the area of my base, again, it's 1/2 base times height, because my base is a triangle. The base of my triangle is 12, the height is 9. Let's say maybe you flipped it and put the base as 9, the height is 12. You get the same exact thing. So 1/2 times 9 times 12 is 54 for my capital B value. Remember, whatever my height is, that's different than the h that was in my capital B formula. This h is the height of my triangle. It's a 2-dimensional triangle. It's flat. It has a length and a width. This is the height of the entire object. So if it's sitting on this base, how tall would it be? It would be 18 centimeters tall. So then my volume is just my capital B times my h, which is 54 times 18, which gives me a volume of 972 centimeters cubed. Now the last one I think you're really gonna like because it's a lot easier is a cylinder. A cylinder has its own formula. We're getting away from that prism formula. Our cylinder is right here. The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. It's very simple to find the r. It's very simple to find the h. From this picture, you can see my r is 5, my h is 12, radius of 5, height of 12. So all I need to do is plug it in. Pi times 5 squared times 12. If you put it in your calculator correctly, you should get about 942.5 units cubed. Lastly, we have one more cylinder example just for good practice. Looking at that, my radius is 3, my height is 6. The only place this can get a little tricky is if I would give you the whole diameter. Make sure you're only using the radius. There are some on the practice like that. So my formula is pi times 3 squared times 6. Which comes out to be about 169.6 units cubed. And that is it for volume day 1, prisms, cylinders. And I'm telling you, the prisms is usually where people go wrong, especially the triangular ones. So really do your best to follow along with the examples. Try them. If you're struggling, ask a fellow student, but you really need to get a handle on it before we go further into more different types of shapes.